Alrighty. Oh, get this? Yeah. Hi, Kieran. How's it going? It's been a little while. Which was really my fault. I really had to get myself back in the mood for streaming. I played a lot of Genshin while I was on vacation. It's like an excessive amount. You came back from the milk store. I did. I came back from the milk store. Your father. Further now than I am. What the fuck, ads? Fresh, that's what happens when I'm gone too long. Everybody's subs are probably gone. That's my bad, I'm sorry. We're playing FF also tomorrow. It took a little while to coordinate that with Kwoo. But Kwoo will be here tomorrow for doing the new MSQ stuff in Final Fantasy.
Practice these days.
As for
any conflicts around?
While I was on vacation, using price and being addicted to gambling when Savage. I don't know when Savage is. But for Genshin, where I'm at in the story, let's see. I left off in Leeway. Beat all of that. Beat. Holy crap! There was. Let's see. All the shit we did while I was gone. We finished up all of the stuff in Leeway, or at least the main story part. We went down here, kicked Lightning Lady's ass. We went up here and helped free Plant Lady, and now we are up here helping the well, I don't know if we're helping the Water Lady. She kind of tried to immediately jail us because Paimon can fly. I don't know. Get Genshin. Thoughts on new Kendrick album? Motherfucker! I have no thoughts on it. No thoughts whatsoever. I haven't heard it. You're gonna have to send it to me. I'll listen to it. Other than that, I don't. Wow. Don't you wow me. You can't expect me to listen to every Kendrick album that ever comes out. You send an album? This isn't the Motherfucker! Just shoot me a Discord link to it. I can't wait to see how what are you talking about? Yeah, you exist.
Now this is fancy! The Opera at Eclairs. What a place to hold a performance! No wonder Linny and Lynette were looking forward to it. Huh. Looks like there's a lot of people standing around the fountain up ahead.
Oh, Archon, please bless us with a bright and healthy child. We pray.
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much. I'll be happy as long as our child is healthy and lives a peaceful life.
I guess if they're our kid, then there's no doubt they'll turn out smart.
Mickey Man! How are you doing? Also, hi, Sadie.
Maybe this is one of the customs in Fontaine. There sure are a lot of couples here.
Vache.
The fuck? The hell was that?
Vache. Vache.
I think we're tripping. And front lines? Maybe tomorrow. We'll see what Kwoo says. But FF is tomorrow. Yeah, Paimon, you saying shit in my head?
Are you hearing things?
You're damn right I'm
Welcome to the
hearing
Fountain
things.
of Lucine. All the water flowing through Fontaine converges here. It's customary for newlyweds to come here and wish for children.
Lynette! You scared Paimon!
Paimon, that was a very delayed reaction.
Here.
First stream back after
When
a
you
long
asked me to
hiatus,
wait
and it's
for
not
you,
FF14.
remember?
You have changed. Look, I wanted it to be 14, but Kwoo is not available to continue the MSQ till tomorrow. So you gotta wait for FF for tomorrow. And then we'll be back to that. And then it's really whenever Kwoo's available and we can, after the MSQ is finished, we can start filtering in. Push! Push! For you, Progwed. I don't know, when I have people who want to do it. Ditch Kwoo? God. I'm gonna tell her you said that. I'm gonna tell her right now. Hold up, where's Discord? Hold up. Kwoo. Fresh. Hold me to ditch you. I told her what you said. You have to live with this now, Fresh. Y'all just spend a month away, like, yo, imagine not playing Girls Frontline 2. Imagine liking hanging out with your siblings. Look. It be what it be. No need to hate your siblings. Lynette, I seem to hear a faint voice just now. Yeah, Lynette, you hearing anything?
There are a lot of people here right now.
The voice of the fountain.
Hey, you're not trying to scare Paimon, are you? Besides, it's the middle of the day. It's not the time for eerie things.
Oh, the middle of the day is the perfect time
I
for
see.
little things. I know all.
I might be able to tell you something that could help explain the voice you heard.
Aw,
In
shit.
fact, you might not be
Kwoo's
imagining
here.
things
Time
at all.
for point.
I
Nah,
suspect
Kate was
that what you
working.
heard is a result of
She's
your
just here to,
hypersensitivity to the hydro element.
because I'm
Others in my family have had similar experiences.
just stirring the
Because of
pot.
her sensitivity to the
Doing
hydro
homework.
element?
Oh, I guess she's doing
Hearing
homework.
The voice have to do
For
with elemental
14.
power.
Tomorrow!
When
Fresh.
do you cry,
Tomorrow.
Paimon?
Wait, what? What does that have to do with anything?
I have no idea.
Just answer me.
Tomorrow
When do
and
you
have
cry?
all the free time. Use chat GPT? You can't chat
when
GPT
Paimon's
all
really
homework.
sad? Oh, and when Paimon's super happy.
Quizzes.
Oh, and also when Paimon's really, really scared.
Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense emotions. Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine is where all the flowing water in Fontaine converges. Even the tears that fall to the ground will eventually gather here. So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion
Just got an
coming
award
from
from
someone's
school
tears.
for an assignment I used ChatGPT on. So no. Jesus. So maybe an interesting explanation. Yeah, I don't buy that
So,
shit.
what did the voice say?
It was definitely something else.
Huh. If you were hearing their emotions, then Paimon wonders what happened
GPT is
to
nice,
them.
but it also is
Rather
only
than
useful
worrying
for
about
some things.
them, we should worry about my
And
brother
with
first.
the most expensive ChatGPT sub.
Don't let that calm look of his fool you. He tends to get pretty nervous just before a performance. So chatting with Linny might help him relax a little before he goes on stage.
Oh, right. That makes sense. Let's go in and see Linny.
Hell. No, this is not the weirdest thing I've seen. Quizzes and the questions I have to make for class, and no. No, I'm not using chat to do my quiz.
Ah, Traveler and Paimon. Good to see you. I knew you two would come.
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world. We've been looking forward to it.
I can tell, judging by how early you've arrived. But you're actually right on time.
Chat,
The audience still hasn't started
what?
entering the venue yet, which
What,
means
Quizlet is
now
fourth?
is the
Look.
perfect chance for us to take you to the best seats in the house. Wait just a moment. I'll fetch the tickets.
My phone auto-corrected. That is good.
The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your seats, and here are
Well,
your tickets.
Jesus. She could have told me ahead of time we had to have fucking
Thanks, Lenny.
special seats. Got my post-grad
Don't mention it.
degree
There's no
with
need to keep
Quizlet
thanking
help for sure. Jesus Christ.
Hey, Lenny, could you come over here and take a look at this?
That is
Oh,
odd, and
I'll
I
be
am
right
only
there.
passing due to her
Seems
grace.
there's an issue with the stage props over there. That's Cal, my assistant, calling me. I'll go lend him a hand.
Yeah, we'll just go to our seats. You go ahead, Lenny.
Oh, and one note. It's actually a pretty nice little opera theater house place they got going. Who the hell is sitting next to us? Got the immersive reader.
Oh, these should be our seats. Come on, let's sit down.
I like how Paimon does it, so it just floats. Paimon, say nothing. Don't you dare.
Hey, traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together
God
and the rest
damn
of
it,
the
why are
place
these
is
my
practically
options?
empty still. It's
Isn't that usually your job?
of course you put this on Paimon.
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh, so
No shit, you heard that. It's a completely empty room. All right, Luna, create a throne account. Grammarly got my
That's not it. Paimon's
alert
sorry.
and masters.
Paimon's the one who was being rude.
And you
talking
FF
under her
tomorrow,
breath like
so I
that.
can do all the homework
So,
for today.
Let's talk,
tomorrow.
but what should we talk about?
It's getting even more awkward.
Oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you a friend of Linny's too?
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
I have T instead of Grammarly.
Oh, so you're
Does
not
the best
friends
job
with
of
Linny
organizing my
then.
thoughts.
Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Vaudain.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Teyvat. And as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself.
May have used
I
ChatGPT
am-
for my final paper last
Oh,
term.
Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to
Did a
see
great
your
job, so
performance in
whatever.
person.
Wait, Nervillet? Could he be...
Oh, it's Nervalet, not
I
Nouvelet?
saw you all chatting
Well,
just now,
fuck me.
but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Nervillet is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Whoa! Sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important
When
person.
ChatGPT was like,
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to. There's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression. So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
This has been the most active Archon
Serena, the
that
Hydro Archon.
we've run into so far.
She sure has a smug and satisfied
Access
look on her
to grammar
Guess she has no
version,
idea
and
that
it's
you
been
saw
great.
right through her
Grammarly.
act.
Ah.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paimon can hardly wait! Paimon's never seen a real live magic show before!
Paimon, we literally use magic all the time.
Oh, they're dimming the lights! The show must be starting!
Motherfucker! Shut up! God damn it.
Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today. Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. I'm sure she'll be stealing the spotlight soon enough. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say.
I
You
think it's
never know
so
what can
much room
happen
in
the
between all
blink
those
of an eye.
seats.
A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are
Ah,
endless.
we've switched to video mode.
But this
So
isn't
many
what you
cards
came
just
for.
thrown at the ground.
These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do.
Well, the Archon seems to be buying it.
Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? How did he do that? Herman didn't see him do anything. Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank?
I feel like we're gonna get ourselves kicked out of the show.
Out of nowhere.
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing.
Thank you.
Ah!
Thank you, everyone.
Fresh.
I'm glad you enjoyed that performance.
Thanks for the sub.
But our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing
I'm
surprises
amazed the
for
alerts
everyone
still
here.
work. I thought I was gonna have
The
to fix
magic
that.
of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I
Speaking
have
of
ample time to make all
yes!
necessary preparations.
Yes, and it's on.
So, for my next
It was completely
trick,
unnecessary.
I will require the participation of one lucky audience member. Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes, and only 2 boxes. One is here, and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm
All
sure
right.
many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap!
Okay,
Our
well,
lucky
they're
audience
spooky.
member and I will each
That
enter a
wasn't
magic
K-Woo.
box.
Spooky. What?
After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite
Why are
box.
you even watching this? I thought you were doing other things.
Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the
I
box
see you in a chat with all of them.
Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow, how's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks?
Ah,
or does Lynette
Jesus.
have actual superpowers?
Unnecessary. Very unnecessary. I am but eating right now. Alright. Yeah, let's watch
The
and see.
lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate. Now then, let's begin.
Random my ass.
Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box. I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything.
Does this
but
not have
matter
music?
what
No
strange
music
things
right
may
now.
happen, don't come out of the box.
Which is
If
odd.
the magic is interrupted,
We also usually
who
don't
knows
have
where you might
cutscenes
end
that are
up.
this long. I
You
feel
might
like
even
they're
find
usually
yourself in the
much shorter.
Fortress of Meripede.
Oh, okay.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, there is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do. Could you all give me a countdown? Like this. 60, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slower if you like. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying on your voices to know when time is up. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh! Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that!
No,
Yeah, I'm
no,
sure he's
that
prepared.
won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Let's practice together.
Motherfucker, I
Come
should
on,
have.
repeat after me. 60, 59, 58.
60! 59! 58!
That's right, perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
There's your music fresh. It's finally coming in.
54, 53, 52? Huh? Why
Paimon?
aren't you counting, Nervalet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just enjoy the show.
Oh,
What I know
You
from my
look so
friends,
serious
they
that
really
Paimon
did
thought you might
set
be
up
feeling
in
uncomfortable or
the
something.
40, 39,
step up in the story in Frenchland. Ah, all right.
Mr. Linney, are
I
you
felt
all right in
I
there?
thought they stepped
Is
up the story in
everything
the
ready?
last part.
Yes, I'm fine, I'm just double-checking the direction of the magic. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, midair right above the audience.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all. Ah, what was that noise? Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like anyone's worried about it.
Like as far as story reception goes, this is kind of like Genshin's
What's
Shadowbringers.
wrong, Mr. Linney?
Ah,
I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't tell left from right.
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what's important.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry, we still have 20 seconds. Hear them counting?
19! 18! 17!
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. I apologize, everyone. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do such a long countdown. 10 seconds and change is still plenty of time.
10!
Almost there now. Whew. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7!
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5! 4! 3!
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0!
Ta-da!
What happened?
Was it part of the show?
Part of the show?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
You're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
What happened?
Oh no. maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of Justice.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough.
Not what I was expecting, but all right.
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance. And there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
The serial disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as
I'm gonna be honest. There are a lot of people who like this Archon, and I don't see it yet.
I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linny, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
No, this all occurred during your
She's
magic
very
show,
full of
did it
herself.
not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not? Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a provocation, a bald-faced challenge.
What are your thoughts on
How can Linny do this?
girl fails?
He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
All right, you're an old man. Yo, I'm not that old. Cindy, why you gonna do this to me? Why you gonna hit me where it really hurts? Damn. That's cold. That's cold is what that is. Guys, before the show, he told us that he would like to get the criminal behind the disappearances.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linny and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
Huh? I just think that he... Well, I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is the opponent I'll be facing. That's right. I mean you, Traveler. You'll support Linny, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met.
I don't think Lenny did it.
Then there's
She does
no
get better,
problem at
though.
all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met.
We did not have a duel. What the fuck?
But But with Linny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome. So, no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor than here, on the grandest of stages, the Opera Epiclese.
It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
Paimon, there was no duel to begin with.
Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order. Well,
Motherfucker, how did I end up in the middle of this?
You in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you, are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend him in this case?
Motherfucker, I am not ready to be an attorney. Why is yes the only option? This is bullshit. Fuck
Very
it,
well.
I guess I have to.
The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth. Linney and his troupe are all potential suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot Outlander can build in such a short amount of time. I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
Hey, look, I heard I can just skip this whole trial deal by requesting a duel. I mean, I've kicked a lot of ass.
Linny!
We could definitely do the duel.
Sorry
What's up,
about
buddy?
everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Paimon, we've seen much scarier
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer?
I don't think
Good
so.
to hear. Thank you so much for trusting me. I'm sure everyone sees
It's
me as
less
the biggest
trusting
suspect at this
you.
point.
I trust your
But
sister
if you
more.
ask me, the whole thing is
And I feel like
mysteries
she would have
layered
told
upon
us.
mysteries, such that all that's left is confusion. I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not, and I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to figure out what they did. Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
What? The fuck did you get those?
Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh?
No.
Don't worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
You mean
I
from my
think they look
funds?
cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self. But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence.
How would that make it difficult?
Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that. We'll be
I
counting on you.
wouldn't be thanking me for
Yes,
that.
thank you so much.
I am not used to this we do not normally play lawyer.
Yeah, just leave it to us. Oh, since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first. Where did Lynette go during the performance?
Oh, well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
Yeah?
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted during the trial. 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured countless hours and spared no effort in perfecting it.
Is there someone who would want
But if
to
revealing
know
our
your
secrets will
secrets?
help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon is on the case!
I don't trust you at all, Paimon. I'm also more of the beat
Hello,
shit up
officer.
kind of person.
How's the investigation going?
Ah, I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
I'm already mixed up.
What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see.
Oh?
The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it.
Yeah, why was Cal
This
in
is
there?
the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
But he doesn't have a motive!
Are you both good friends of his?
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
So
Like
in
2
just a
days.
short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic.
I was less convinced
The real trick
us
of a
and
magician is
more
holding
we were
the
kind of
audience
forced
in the
into
palm
this.
of their hand. I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence.
No, I
Sorry,
pretty much
I
agree with you.
tend to be
I
pretty
I don't know why I have
Just
the
know
I
that
don't
I
have
warn
another
you
option.
for your own good. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
Use the case record to confirm your current evidence and clue collection status and sort case-related information. Motherfucker, I've got another book to deal with! God damn it. Check as yet undiscovered evidence and clues, and then investigate the corresponding area to locate them. Use perception skill to find evidence and clues. Can be investigated with a certain radius around yourself. This will advance your overall progress. East. You put it in. Motherfucker, look at all these things. Alright, I'll swear the magic box Corwell. Inside that box at the moment, he might have dodged the falling water tank.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
You know, we've got a fireworks expert we could ask about this kind of thing.
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
Because I don't think the rope burned through that quickly.
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material!
Oh,
Most of it was burned away, but there's There's still a little bit of it left.
How would we even know what flash cotton
So if
is?
a boat meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait, why don't you write all this down? Let's take notes.
Yeah, we have a book for this. Also, I don't know how that would hold up the... You know? Hey, what can you tell me?
Hello there. What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list. Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troop members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
I'm so
Found you to be
confused.
so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
The broken magic box was left on the scene after guards completed their investigation. Looking at it now, Tink must have struck it really hard. Hey, what are you guys working on over here?
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Lenny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us too.
But you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Even though it's bad for Linny's case, Paimon had better write it down.
Swear to God, if I'm required to like go through and select specific things later on, I'm gonna lose my shit. Alright. An ordinary box, but Lenny somehow moved instantly from the stage to being inside it. How'd he do it? What are you doing over here?
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too. If you find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, all right?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Why are you out here investigating, though?
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. It all started with that loud thud.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
That makes sense.
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Lenny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
But
No,
wasn't
not
the
at
noise
all.
we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing.
Yeah,
Oh,
wouldn't the
that's
water
true.
tank swing?
I suppose I must reconsider.
Damn right, you reconsider.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
We should ask Lenny and Lynette if they made that sound at all.
Lenny's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright.
Alright, they're still busy.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been
Who the
keeping
fuck
an
are
eye
you?
on you for a while now.
Huh? You mean us?
That's
What
right.
you want?
If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula?
No.
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I,
Never heard of you.
Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
I don't know, Paimon. What gives with the fucking mustache?
Well, I am the second generation president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula anyway.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand.
Yeah.
That's right.
The investigation.
I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too! That's why we're looking for clues now! But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition.
Intuition will
Rachel
not
was
give us
quick
this
to point the
case.
finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she?
Yeah, but she
Perhaps
seems
that's
to have
not
some
uncommon
issues.
for her. If you remember, the justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Look, at this rate, I don't trust the Hydro
What's your
Archon.
opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but
liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
Oh,
Alright,
when you put it that way.
I answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
All right.
Wait a minute. Did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
No.
Well?
And why would that be?
That's not entertainment.
See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent.
I need more
No matter
coffee.
how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Malus. Anyway, I like your answer. You pass with flying colors. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
I don't... How did I fall into this? What's going on here?
Oh, well, I can be the assistant. Sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
Why are you even here?
That's more like it.
Paimon,
Far be
you
it from
failed
me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth.
All right.
You wish to save
Well,
a friend from false accusations.
I mean...
And we wish to unravel the disappearances.
Guess it
In
wouldn't
this
hurt.
sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. Huh. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Lenny's tricks. Thanks!
Does she really just want to know Lenny's tricks? Is that all she's trying to get out of this?
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes, after the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection. So,
But
the
not
missing
before
girl
that.
couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on. I doubt there was much opportunity then, either.
How can you
I doubt your doubts.
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave. We Melazines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
No, I don't know.
It's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here.
No, it is not safe to say yet. I need more explanations.
This will be useful info. We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this?
I'm guessing someone who wants to steal your tricks.
Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and will be helping investigate this whole situation.
I
And
still
these are
don't
my
trust her.
companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such...
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
Here's another box.
Exactly.
It's
All
got
right,
a false
let's go.
back.
I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
Yep, and the passage linked the two
I
boxes.
knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked! Wow, every detail you revealed was more amazing than the last!
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
Well, I'll do my best. I'm no lawyer. Kind of just thrown into this. Control the trolley. Be able to operate automatically. Is required in order to return the magic box above.
What's this?
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Whatever.
Or it's grappling hook to get down quickly. Dropped hook rope.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Oh, Paimon knows. It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug.
Ivan, that is the stupidest thing you've said today.
And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
Base.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them?
Lady, how are your glasses getting more crazy?
This is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
Also, that doesn't look like her outfit at all. Am I losing my mind? I don't think that looked like the outfit of the lady at all. Trolley freaking out. This appears to be our only exit.
What is this place?
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Not many other routes.
Perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, this space would be too narrow.
The fuck it would?
There are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down. Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes. Let's head back up.
Nothing I missed. I don't know how I got up. How did I go from fighting monsters to running a murder mystery show?
Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, What did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was...
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then! You know, like the kind you usually see in novels!
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce...
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides. That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Novelette called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial. Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
I mean, it can't be as bad as some of our forest hijinks.
Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all. Just kidding!
Paimon?
Just kidding!
Fuck.
Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh? Here? But how?
I mean, I do have a
Understood,
lot of
mademoiselle.
resources on me.
Everyone, please come with me.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste...
These three are quite the interesting group.
Yep, must be a them thing. Via methodically whatever.
And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling. From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up
She
doing
likes
the entire
baking,
thing by
Paimon.
yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
That's not quite what Paimon meant.
Paimon was just thinking. Aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks. Don't underestimate beating egg weights, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway, give these a try, fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Only 3?
Hey.
Well,
Hi,
eating
Bon.
too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head.
Don't be rude.
You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite, strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit.
I'm not a big fan of black tea.
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then.
Has a very strong
Down
taste.
to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also
All right,
occupied its
going to
sealed
grab coffee.
The
Be
magician
right back.
twins could have committed the crimes, of course.
Hey, listening.
They lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
You know, when I left to go grab coffee, I was really hoping that we wouldn't get to a spot where I had to make a decision so quickly. The 2 other people, the missing girl and the
The
deceased.
flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
There's no evidence that this 3rd person even exists.
True.
What? Hold
None
up.
of the
Hear
clues
me
we
out.
found thus far support the
What if
existence of this 3rd person.
The girl
But
wanted to disappear because she had debts, because we were dealing with debtors.
Whether it's the missing
Well, you guys
girl,
weren't here for the dealing with debtors.
poor
But
Paula.
she's trying to escape her debtors by faking her death, by making it seem like she was abducted.
Paola before making her escape?
She escaped through the vent because only one could go through the vent, and it's just her. And she because she was nervous about stuff, because she, what was she, an artist, painter, whatever, couldn't keep going. She tampered with it. She was getting out of the box. She ran into the other guy that wasn't supposed to be there when she escaped. So no. Yeah. She ran into the guy who wasn't supposed to be there. So she accidentally killed him, shoves him in the box, and then no one was ever supposed to get killed. It was just supposed to be the thing dropping on top of the box, and it looked like she may have been murdered, but disappeared. She had no way of knowing how the magic trick worked.
That's right.
We don't know that.
And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case.
Not impossible.
Your macarons are amazing though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
Lady, you were supposed to have 3.
Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest!
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
Don't baby Paimon.
Greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
Look, it's fine if you ate them.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach!
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal. Malus, set up the stove again if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
No need to do that.
Trouble you?
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
I'm so...
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
Our discussion follows.
Well,
That
that's
yield
it for
much
snack
progress.
time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of want the option to get on stage and just be like, I demand a duel.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Alright, it's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
I'll grab those.
The warriors of the Flower Feather Clan are a proud bunch.
Actually. Almost forgot to claim that key.
Lucasaurs are a prouder bunch still. Anyone who aspires to become a writer has to train relentlessly and then win their approval. Even me. And I was proud to
another
be
thing.
one of them. Growing up. It's only
Got a good amount of stuff saved up for the next
allowing a rookie to write a coup
thing.
soar into the skies
We
would be highly
need-
irresponsible.
Where's the special item? We are?
Whoever the murderer was, they must have made preparations well beforehand. This rope was obviously tampered with.
That was tampered with?
People needed to register and reserve a seat for the show. That, combined with this too. Oh, looks like it could hook onto a lot of things. Like the Traveler's fishing rod! This flower vase is probably a prop for the show. Paimon doesn't get this at all. You think about it for a bit, Traveler. Why would it be him? How strange. Why would it be? Gosh, no wonder
Yeah,
the
see, she
serial
was wearing a different
disappearances never got
outfit.
solved.
Hmm.
We all heard that noise, didn't we? The performance would not have been visible from where the doors were guarded. If Paimon were on duty, she would have snuck back into the audience seating. Well, there was no chance Paimon could have seen that the box had 2 layers. And that's why only the 2 of them can perform this trick. There was no third person. And Paimon didn't eat more than 3 macarons either. Digging a tunnel just for a magic trick? That size wouldn't have been a problem for Paimon.
This looks like I'm missing stuff in the tunnel.
The Kukasaur and the Rider.
Can I go back down there? Am I allowed to investigate more? Feel like I missed something during my investigations. I wonder if there's anything I can see with this. Oh, I don't think I'm allowed to add anything now. That's disappointing. Alright, we gotta wait till 8.
Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well,
best of luck to you.
I don't think this is gonna go well for me. I think a duel is our best option.
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well, now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Yep, clearly showing off the trick.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Accidentally hit the spacebar.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Yeah, how does he
I'm
not
sure
know
he
about
could
the
have
sound?
heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
Oh shit, I've been helping the Fatui!
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed.
That's true.
Then
They don't.
Perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy.
It doesn't matter.
Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny,
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
About the magician's ability to con others. It's concealed his identity. This could have been set up beforehand. This child is here, Fontaine, along with the house operatives. See some scheme.
Please answer my question, Mr. Lynn.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Yeah, I'd like to say shit. Defense cannot proceed. My has withheld some key information.
In that case, what is your request?
Brief adjournment.
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
Hi.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
All right, look, bitches. I don't have enough evidence to get you out of here, so we go with the dual defense. Put me in, coach. I'll beat the shit out of some people.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon just knew where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys.
Well, to be fair, Fatui are...
Not the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
We're still not sure how much of bad guys they are.
I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to. Right. So,
how can we know that's not a lie?
If I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle
Sometimes
to trust me at this
Genshin gives me more options.
You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but...
Alright, where'd you actually go while the trick was being performed?
Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now!
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well,
Alright, what'd you find?
Nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Alright,
Because
why are
of
you
that
trying to figure out
prophecy I
the
told you about,
Oratrice
of
then?
course, we must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
I believe in the facts. I believe that judgment will be dispensed as it should. Look, I'll still defend you guys. That's what I agreed to.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense. Huh?
Yeah, I'm confused too. What evidence do we have? Tournament's almost over. Let's go back.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
I don't get what I mean. Is it chest? Nope. All right.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
All right, continue.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Based on the opposition's account of events, you can identify loopholes in their statements. Use evidence clues obtained during the investigation to refute any erroneous assertions of fact and replace them with new inferences. Your refutation to convince the audience, obtain more support from the people. The Oratrice will display such shifts clearly. When you find and refute all incorrect content, you can complete the cycle of refutation and unveil the truth.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linney red-handed. So Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the truth. behind what happened.
Yeah, but the...
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
Yes.
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events. What Linny experienced and what he saw.
And he entered the tunnel as the countdown began. Claims headed to the chamber containing the Orchard's core upon entering the tunnel. Which performance? Loud sound was from Lenny and Halsey's fighting, but Lenny claimed he heard nothing in order to cover up the truth.
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Why won't this let me use the rope? Because he couldn't have manipulated shit to happen like this if he already had the rope. If the rope was set up to fucking burn beforehand. Was Lenny really in the tunnel at the time? Voice. Ha! How do I refute this, right?
Lenny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Oh, wait, what is it specifically say? This looks like it's the other one we're supposed to refute. Or was Lenny really in the tunnel at the time?
Lenny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say!
God damn it, Paimon.
When the countdown started, Lenny did, but he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement.
Yeah.
Which
Went to
once
there.
he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been the crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again. And in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of...
Alright, we're back to balanced. But there's a couple more things we can put down.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Wasn't it awesome?
Sure, Paimon.
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
I believe my opposition's reasoning is
My
flawed.
reasoning?
It was clearly tampered with in a premeditated fashion.
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Lenny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell them! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
I remember how you refute Lenny's alibi initially.
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't.
Exactly, he wasn't. Name has now become my weapon. I kind of like that better than it's my clue. Which is the evidence that Lenny wasn't in the tunnel at the time the crime took place? So it'd be the strange sound.
That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best
Well played.
To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Murderer was... Hit the gear icons in the interface to check the corresponding case question. Select answers and fill the empty gears to verify the contents of your deduction. If you made mistakes, you must make another selection from the remaining options. If you answered all the questions correctly, you can complete this logic chain. The Gardas investigation report indicates that the fireworks released near the end of the show ignited and burned through the rope suspending the water tank above stage. This caused the water tank to fall and kill Caldwell in the box below. Lenny is no longer under suspicion. Only the other members of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the props. Then he gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work by using the box inside a box. The idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported across the tunnel underneath, and Lenny himself would also use this tunnel to get to the other side. Having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of on-stage interactions. Those belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along? Could there have been a third person involved? Is that really a possibility?
Well, Halsey's... Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to examine the body, so I don't know that's really him.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
He would, but I think it's going to tell me that's wrong. Oh, nope, they said us right.
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
How can we envision Lenny as having been unable to interfere?
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the... No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So, where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant.
Alright.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The sound we heard may have come from...
Oh, hold on.
The sound we heard may have come from...
I see. This is what we're supposed
The
to do.
deceased's name is
How can we
Cowell,
envision Lenny
Linny's
as
assistant.
being unable to...
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment.
Alright, how can I prove that there was an altercation in the tunnel?
The sound we heard
Which
may
is
have
the
come from
sound.
a clash between the missing...
Prime
The
suspect.
deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's...
Where did the missing Halsey go?
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So, there must have been... No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
No? The hell?
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that
Criminal must have understood the methods behind Lenny's magic trick and must have been positioned to easily modify equipment. Putting that aside, how did Cowell have all the means to commit the crime at his disposal? Strange noise could likely have been the sound of Cowell struggling. Net was not in the tunnel for 1 minute. This would have given time for Cowell to bring Halsey out of the magic box and in the audience stands. The guard's testimony, no one entered or left the opera house, so even if he had taken her, there would be no means of exiting. And the box would have been in full view of the audience, pretty much guaranteeing they would be discovered.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Could have been the water?
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Hold on.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important...
Oh, Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick.
I mean, to be fair, I have seen special robots made already. We've taken over people's minds and controlled them. I've had our own mind controlled by another god.
Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about 2 completely different things.
Even so, I trust the traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased Cal.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water from the Primordial Sea.
The Primordial Sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times.
What the fuck have we gotten ourselves into?
Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You gotta be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Look, not the weirdest thing I've run into.
Actually be true.
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh.
can become water. Does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowl was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still,
no.
Let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Alright. Cal's our primary suspect. Item the culprit used for the timing of the pollution.
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have some... I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box.
What? Item culprit used to dissolve. Oh,
The
never
water
mind.
from the primordial sea should already... Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of trick.
Maybe that.
The water
Then
from
we
the
dissolve with that.
primordial sea
I'm gonna be honest, these clues don't seem to go together at all to me. I might be an idiot, though. It's a very, very typical thing for me. Alright. The culprit used to hide the mechanism behind the crime.
I remember there was something else within the Lynette was in the magic box on... The rope that strung the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and cut. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank. I remember there was something else.
I don't know how it goes together. I'm just putting shit in boxes now.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again!
God, no, Paimon.
Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
It doesn't. How the fuck? Why did he get in it?
A lot of the more
What?
confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be.
Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a...
God damn it, this shit again.
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowell then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner, and ultimately, he knocked Cowell out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization.
Yeah, they don't usually go after their own, though. I mean, the doctor left the balladeer behind, but the balladeer was also kind of crazy.
Am I right, Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Oh no! Paimon can't think of anything. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move.
I think we've all seen enough now. And we have ample witnesses to... I believe this is indeed the finale! Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject!
Miss, I must ask you not to shout, and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on, don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick, one that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette, give it another go. Don't worry, Spina di Rosula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But as
I
the
am
magic maker
so
and
fucking
stars of the show,
confused. What?
I think I should leave
What
the
is
final
going on?
performance to you.
I understand.
And voila.
What the fuck?
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
It's Phoenix right now. What the fuck is going on?
If I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
What?
What? What the fuck?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee, but then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
Yeah,
But I
professional
swear,
thief.
I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, you're a killer now.
Everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective. The flower vase was
Get
not
that?
broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cowl.
This is the most janked ass court I've ever been in. We're just throwing around shit. It's the most meaningless. What did Halsey?
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Jeff? The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time!
Alright, Paimon, go ahead.
Selected out of the blue,
Hit your
Lillian,
weird shit.
her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowl leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowl out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
Let me zoom in on that. Derp. Look, this is a very derp case right now. I don't know what we're doing. It's just fucking... Yeah, you know what I wanted to do from the very beginning? I just wanted to say, let's have a duel. No court case. Just let me duke it out with someone to prove he's innocent.
She knew that she would have to go through
Instead, I got this insanity.
She tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
Hey.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel
It's not time to duel.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo!
Well, at least we
Now
got
then,
Lenny off.
Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow, look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent.
Oh my
While there is much
God.
in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case at least can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Ace Detective
Great work,
Paimon.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Next,
look,
I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dare to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes?
Oh, shit.
I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders.
Whose
We were
orders?
supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it. The
I'm
disappearances
surprised
were
someone
also the
hasn't
boss's
taken this
idea.
man out.
I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
Oh, shit. That's what I thought would happen. Somebody taking him out.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
Who is them?
Outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Nothing is found at the scene aside from the liquid left behind from Vaughn's dissolvement.
We're just going back now?
Yeah, we're not needed here.
That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
What's up?
Lenny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me.
Look, I'm actually not as upset about the whole Fatui thing.
Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I
Yeah,
guess.
nobody should be falsely accused.
But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight.
Look, if we can hang out with Child, we can hang out with Lenny and Lynette.
I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets.
Alright.
To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was.
Oh?
After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts.
The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
Villains.
I managed to ferret out the location of the
It is
mansion
kinda
of that
fucked up, though.
so-called eminent person, and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer.
Alright.
The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
The knave after the Gnosis, right?
Has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Saritsa to first use the Gnosis's power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
To be fair, I don't know that we can count on the Archon to save her people right now.
Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the knave, has their roots in Fontaine, and we will always defend our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
Again, Genshin, taking away my choices, just leaving me with, I'm sorry, but I still can't trust you.
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
Bye, Linny!
Hi, Lynette. We don't give us a sister a bye? It's fucked up, Paimon. It's real fucked up. Seriously though, what are we gonna do now? Why not meet up with the knave and be like, hey, what are you planning on doing with that Gnosis?
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you
I don't know that we disappeared. We went to talk with Lenny and Lynette.
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too? Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Look, I was just trying to defend Lenny. Are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
She's like, oh, Thought you guys were gonna help me.
I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway,
totally gonna be regrets later.
So it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
All right, let's go have that meal then.
To twist Paimon's arm, if Boss Navi is treating, count Paimon in!
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right then, let's have our farewell
Wait,
meal.
wasn't Lenny and Lynette at the Hotel de Boer? What the fuck? Is everyone we're meeting a Fatui? Offerings to the Fountain of Scene. I don't even know what this is. Whatever. Oh? Damn. Station Partners 2024 Excellence Award as a token of your gratitude. Giving away a total of 1,000 pyrograms from December 4th to the 8th. Sweet. I am saving up so many of those pyrograms. We're gonna have so many rolls when the Pyro Archon finally comes out. Back to the court. Zoom in. They want me to take the boat? The boat. We can stop and grab that. Let's go to the boat. Thought that dog was gonna jump in the water for a second. Wait, did I go the wrong way? Fuck! I immediately went the wrong way. Oh, hold up. Let's just teleport back up there. I don't know what anyone's talking about. I certainly didn't immediately go the wrong direction. All right, take us off. Yeah, immediately. Oh, there we go. I want to see if I can catch up to it.
Take me up.
I am faster. All right. Teleport point. You know, I didn't think about the inability to fly back up part. You know, that's my own fault. All right, let's go to this one. This other teleport. Is it in the sewers? Can we go in the sewers? Is there another spot down? Can this take me down? Nope. This does not seem like it would take me down. Blah, blah. I do like the music around here. Alright, we're gonna go for that teleport point then.
Bring it!
Let's fly.
Oh, down. Yes. Alright, let me in. You see this fancy ass hotel.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't
Paimon will eat everything.
in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
Last time we had fancy
case,
food,
I'll go
we
order
were
for us
eating with the
first.
Geo
Let's wait here a
Archon.
moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Certainly we're celebrating.
Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food.
Paimon, I trust you can
cases,
wolf it back.
Do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward.
Why are our
I feel
teacups
that's
the
about
size
it.
of bowls?
We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed
They're out to dissolve the
dissolved like
water
that.
Archon.
Right?
Hydro.
Yet it was because
That's the word
this
I
was
was
such
thinking
a
of.
preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through. Where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the Hydro Archon to actually speak with me.
To her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon.
Yeah, she seems intent on having a duel with me, though.
People waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we heard that she's super popular here.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be as hard as we think.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Ma'am, do not get me in trouble.
Full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
You assume we have acting chops.
A little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions.
Are you a psychopath?
Testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Yeah, I've been arrested before. Don't want to be there.
I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire
Actually,
for
we've been arrested multiple times in this quest of ours.
All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
Yeah, it's worth a try.
Give it a try after this meal. You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Fuck it, why not?
Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you...
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Is that so?
Agree?
Huh.
I don't know what Fanta
in that
would
case,
be.
We'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed.
Thankfully, they didn't make me pay.
Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
Could try floating a little lower. Yeah, you could try walking.
That would be so... normal. You know, like you.
That's fucked up.
Okay.
It's so fucked up.
As for expenses this month,
Eh,
left.
I don't want to be normal like you.
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
That seems pretty tough.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again.
Paimon, you be a little more respectful.
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority.
I don't know why
In any
you are
case,
so friendly with
I
us.
wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
Too nice. All right, Fountain Plaza in front of the Opera House. Actually, first, we are going to unlock this so that I can get to the Adventurers Guild. I'm gonna be honest, this is not the easiest city to navigate. It's a very tall city. All right, Catherine, how you doing?
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to...
No, we're not starting a quest.
Today's commissions.
We do not care why Catherine is so stressed out. I mean, we care a little bit, but I also think we found out she was like a robot, so only a little bit of caring. Noise.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
All right, now back to the Opera House. See if we can catch ourselves up. Hydro Archon.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
Why
Looks like
the
we're back
fuck
here
is the
again.
fountain talking to us again?
Traveler? Are you hearing voices again?
Yep.
Ugh, that's kinda spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
No.
Vache. Vache.
Hey,
Okay, hell is
why are
Vache?
you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water. Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right?
Oh shit, you can hear it now?
Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Oh. Fuck, I've been pulled into a dream. Hey, what's going on?
Vache, are you my dear Vache?
No.
No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
I'm afraid not.
Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know.
Oh shit.
My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten? Yes, that is what I was.
Alright, you were once human.
But now, I am but the consciousness of one who is lost, therefore. I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
Yeah, you one of the girls who was dissolved?
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vacher would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me. And I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be.
You want me to find him?
Our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters.
Oh, that's fucked up.
If you meet Vacher, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember.
Yeah, I think it'll be hard for him to forget.
As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vacher above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer.
Wait, yeah,
Indeed,
he
is
was
that what you
witness?
call it? Dissolving. If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
That after the body is dissolved, measure of consciousness still remains.
I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
I wonder how much time has passed.
I am glad that you were able to
How the
sense my
fuck did we speak to them to begin with?
Remember, if you see Vacher, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Oh shit! What? Wait, what the fuck? What is going on? Who did we wake up to?
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand?
Quick, now's our chance!
The fuck happened?
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, Demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional...
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you. But I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my
Why are you
father's
all
true
here,
last
though?
wish.
We left
Regardless,
you
thank you for your help
eating
today,
in the
Chloe.
other city.
But if you get any ideas, tell me first.
What?
I don't much appreciate being followed.
What?
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorend was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
So confused. Yeah, what the fuck just happened?
Goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorend who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Thanks for the rescue.
Come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Cool.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
Fuck! I forgot! No!
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
We don't really need a reward. Yeah, fortunately, neither of us are from Fontaine.
Investigate. But whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Lenny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
I mean, we always are.
You did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. She said that she heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then?
To do with the hydro
The
element.
primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
A little bit of new intel.
While you...
Well, let's hear it, shall we?
Yeah, the voice of the fountain was a missing woman.
Is... Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Yes,
If he's still alive, we can
this
try
is
to
very
find him.
important information indeed. We will continue to investigate.
All right, partner.
You mean you'll help us investigate?
Yeah, yeah.
Say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Sing with us, Wakasum. Who proved to be their biggest mistake. It always
do
is.
Try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Yes, all secure. Yeah, I have my doubts. I didn't get to talk to the Hydro Archon. Well, another time. Alright, that's it for our stream today. Glad to be back. See you all tomorrow. We're doing Final Fantasy. Peace!